Hello everyone, welcome to my place. You know, those 7 men that we know them as the governing body, faithful slave, and our best buddy Stephen Lett. He's going to be talking about not to stumble anyone, not even spiritual stumbling. Before we get to his nonsense, I am glad Watchtower did stumble, bunch of us, because by stumbling us, we was able gradually have our minds return back to us, to understand these foolish talks and the fake promises they have made all over these years. So let's get into his stumbling talk. And you know, I'm going to rip it apart. So, all I can say is, we are going to have some fun. And here we go.
Picture of someone being stumbled is quite vivid, isn't it? We've all seen someone stumbled. In fact, we've all stumbled ourselves at times. And there are varying degrees of consequences. For example, a person can stumble, quickly recover, and continue almost uneventfully down the path. Or a person can stumble, fall, break a bone, eventually they recover, but only after extensive therapy. Then again, a person can stumble, fall, hit his head, never recover, become...
Now, this is supposed to be a what? A faithful, discreet slave. And he's talking about someone stumbling and they end up to be in the hospital or worse, in a wheelchair. Of course, he didn't say that. But think about it. How much damage they have done to us all with the lies, dishonest, false predictions. Isn't that stumbling and spiritual stumbling? Well, we know way Watchtower works. We've been through their publications, been to their meetings, and what did we find out? By doing something is forbidden that could stumble you, and that is doing research, real research on this religion. And that's one thing Watchtower do not want anyone to stumble, to accidentally to find the truth about this wicked organization, this wicked, dangerous cult that have many people died in it for their false teachings. How can you stumble somebody when you're killing them? You're murdering children. You're murdering mothers, fathers, for this false religion. So let's continue a little bit more.
Becoming a casualty. Well, the situation is similar when one is stumbled spiritually. He can recover quickly, maybe recover over time, or he may never recover, becoming a spiritual casualty. So we can not know the ultimate outcome for someone who has stumbled, so no wonder we're cautioned to be very careful to never be any cause for stumbling. Open up to Matthew.
Then why in the world, Watchtower, you governing body, deliberately stumbling Jehovah's Witnesses, not learning the real truth about this false religion? You are taking lives and you're making a game out of it. Life or death. Death, you stay in this religion. Life, when you get out, enjoy the freedom from any false religion. And their famous words, where you gonna go? We already ripped the other religions apart. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna find the truth? You're gonna have to come back to us. Even Cows is moving on that one. People, truth is in the Bible. It's always been there. You don't need religion to tell you how to worship God and Christ. I mean, if you can go buy a fantasy book or sit down and watch movies, play video games, that's not going to bring you closer to God or Christ. It's a nice hobby. But when you rely on those things, and get this, at your door, because you don't have no Bible knowledge, and you open a door and these people comes to your house and proclaiming they know more about the Bible than any religion, you just walk into a stumbling religion that's going to fall very soon. So let's go back to Stephen Lett.
Chapter 18, and here's an especially powerful scripture in this regard. Matthew 18 verse 6, Jesus says, but whoever stumbles one of these little ones who have faith in me, it would be better for him to have hung around his neck a millstone that is turned by a donkey. And
a donkey? A millstone? Stephen Lett, didn't you just doom yourself? Did you just doom the governing body, showing how awful it is to stumble a child or any member in your organization? And you have the balls to get up there to give a talk and think you're righteous. Think that you are giving a holy talk so no one won't stumble out of this false religion. Why are you pretending to be light, and when this religion has nothing but darkness from day one and still have darkness till now. Let's continue.
Be sunk in the open sea. Well, with graphic language, Jesus describes how that if we cause someone to become a spiritual casualty, we could actually bring eternal doom upon ourselves.
Yes, you 7 men are bringing doom to all Jehovah's Witnesses. And you're taking your sorry butts in front of the Jehovah's Witnesses, because you're the one that's dooming them. They just blind, following the blind into a pit. So you are dooming and stumbling these people. Or people you knock on their doors. And you sit standing there acting like you are faithful, truthful. No wonder many people's watching our videos and waking up from this hogwash and crap you're spitting out of your own mouth.
But now here's a question. What could we do to cause someone to stumble? Well, interestingly, there are several similarities between causing someone to stumble physically and causing someone to stumble spiritually. Let us discuss 3. Now, 1, pushing someone could cause them to stumble, especially if they're on uneven terrain, if you think about it. And this is true physically, spiritually.
And that's what this governing body has done. They had stumbled every single Jehovah's Witness away from the real truth, from the Bible, from God and Christ, by pushing them in different areas and cause people to fall into their trap.
But think about Jehovah for a moment. He could push any of us, couldn't he? He could force us to serve him.
That is a lie. A false God that has no form, no body, no nothing, can't force you to do anything. It's done being proven. This false God Jehovah does not even exist. It's not a Hebrew name for God. So you people are fearing a God that does not exist.
He certainly has the power, but he never uses it that way. Instead, he invites, he encourages, and he explains the blessings, the curses, depending upon how we decide. But it's up to us, isn't it? For example, Isaiah 48:18, Jehovah says, if only you would pay attention to my commandments. Then
oh my gosh. The governing body has so much policy. If they don't, Jehovah's Witnesses don't obey their policy, there'll be public reproof or there'll be disfellowship. What kind of religion will force the members when they want to leave a false religion? They have the choice to leave a false religion without losing a member of their family, without losing their friends. That's the reason they are a cult. A cult is worse than false religion. At least false religion lets people go visit the families, friends, anytime they want to. But a cult, it has rules and regulations. You obey or you're out. Let's continue.
Then your peace would become like a river, and your righteousness like the waves of the sea, beseeching but not forcing. Now think about it. If Jehovah doesn't force, he doesn't want us to force either, does he? For example, parents need to be very careful they don't just simply push their children to serve Jehovah, but rather lovingly
I know my dad pushed us to serve this false religion, and a couple of us rebel because we was losing too much freedom to be ourselves. Besides going door to door, be a door salesman for Watchtower, or not to have a career so we can have a better income. So that was all taken away because they didn't want us to have better education. Just work for McDonald's or Burger King or a window washer, or what I did with one elder, mow people's yards. What kind of benefits? Nothing. So let's continue.
beseechingly, like Jehovah, try to reach the heart, and of course clearly show them the blessings that will come their way if they do. Another example, elders should never try to push Jehovah's sheep. I heard an experience about an elder during his part asked the brothers for a show of hands how many were going out in service the next morning. Well, only a few raised their hand. He proceeded to scold the congregation that more should be going out.
Yeah. You know why? Because it makes the elders look bad when the circuit overseer comes and want to know why the elders wasn't taking the lead to get these sheep knocking on the doors for Watchtower. Of course he has to bend the rules a little bit to get people to go out door to door to get their time. Otherwise his ass will be grass when the circuit overseer comes and no one went out in service that month.
Well, he then unwisely asked for another show of hands. You guessed it, fewer raised their hand the second time. Take another example. Those who conduct Bible studies should not just try to push their students to do the right thing. You've got to quit smoking. You've got to get rid of those idols. No, not with external pressure, but by motivating their hearts. You motivate your students. Or take another example. None of us should try to push schoolmates, workmates, relatives to accept the truth. A pushing...
Yeah. Except Watchtowers flat out lies. Not the real truth, but Watchtowers scam, and people fell into the trap of Watchtower because of the publications they put out every month. It makes them look good that spiritual food is coming toward this religion through the governing body. And all it is, just a book publishing company. Just come out the fantasy world, the fantasy paradise to lure people in. So let's continue a little bit more.
Approach, shoving approach, even though motivated with sincerity, has actually resulted in people being stumbled away from the truth for many years. Makes me think of the story or the saying that when a person first learns the truth, you should lock them up for about 6 months to contain or minimize the damage they do. Well, that saying is totally erroneous. You shouldn't lock that brother up. You should follow that brother. See, that brother has zeal, doesn't he? But it's true, we probably do need to help him to properly channel.
We have the zeal more than Jehovah's Witnesses. That's the reason why we make these videos. To educate people, to teach them what we have learned, what our research are, and how we're helping people. So, Stephen I have a bone to pick on you. Remember about that donkey and the millstone? They should lay all of y'all governing body near the donkey, and the only one standing that has a heart will be the donkey. Your heart is so cold and stone, and you are just like King Pharaoh. His heart was rock solid. And what did it get him? Your turn is next. Christ is telling you through the Bible, let my people go. Free every Jehovah's Witness from this false religion, this false doctrines you're teaching them. Are you going to do that? Or you're going to be a fool and you're going to hang yourself? And you 6 other men that's more wicked and corrupt, just like you. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.